Tonight on CTV News, the council is tightening its belt. A big new development is announced for Cashel and Colombo, and the man co-leading the design of the blueprint talks about the Avon River precinct in the central city. Welcome to CTV News. I'm Rob Cope-Williams. The Christchurch City Council were making cost-cutting decisions today, including rate rises and whether they should ditch the Christmas decorations.
The Christchurch City Council was focused on their finances at today's meeting, starting with hiking rates to 7.48%.
People will still find that tough, but I feel very happy that we've put our heads together to do our best to try and bring that figure down as much as we can for our ratepayers without jeopardising, as far as possible, the income we need to keep the city running.
Rates weren't expected to rise, but March's flooding set the council back. And Christchurch City Councillor Glenn Livingston believes it's a sign of the tough times in the city.
And when you think about it, we've had a big earthquake, and the effects will be felt for some time. And one of these effects is these rate increases.
The council is also saving their pennies and opting not to deck the halls with boughs of holly this year, saying goodbye to Christmas decorations in the city. It'll save them $55,000, the cost of putting up the decorations each year. Councillors at today's meeting were torn over the decision. Councillor Jamie Goff argued he didn't want to be part of the council that cancels Christmas. And Deputy Mayor Vicky Buck says Christmas decorations were important because they are part of the magic for children. But the decision had the full backing of Mayor Leanne Dalzell, who believes the council shouldn't be spending ratepayers' money on decorations under the circumstances. The council will also be saving $20,000 a year by not swapping out street banners around the city for 12 months. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Meanwhile, Christchurch's bus interchange is one step closer to construction as contractors secured the site.
The long-awaited world-class new bus interchange isn't far away, as the contractors who will do the work were announced yesterday. Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee announced the contractors heading up the work will be two companies, Australian company Thiess and Christchurch's South Base. Work to begin on the foundation is due to start in July. The 14,000 square metre facility is to be built on the vacant lot between Sol Square, Tuam Street, Colombo and Litchfield Streets. The interchange is to feature airport-style lounges, shops, a cafe and secure bicycle storage. There will also be dedicated waiting lounges, as well as easy access to taxis on Colombo and regional bus bays on Litchfield Street. Wanting to encourage walking and cycling to work as more attractive options, Minister Jerry Brownlee said the best way would be to reduce the city traffic to 30 kilometres an hour. The bus interchange is the central point of Environment Canterbury's transport plan. Environment Canterbury aim to have 5 core bus services that will travel across the city every 10 to 15 minutes. Every route will pass through the central city interchange. Both construction companies have a great deal of experience with large projects and infrastructure. The Christchurch-based company South Base are also building the 534-space car park. The building nearby recently announced by the Carter Group. With construction due to begin next month, the interchange is expected to be operational halfway through 2015.
An international housing consultant is warning the city is at risk of ending up like a donut unless residents and businesses move back into the CBD.
This Friday, the Sustainable Housing Summit will be run at the Christchurch City Council. A number of ideas to make the residential housing market more sustainable will be showcased. ACOM's Associate Director of Architecture, Michael Billsborough, is due to speak at the summit. However, the Christchurch Press is already reporting that the housing consultant is highlighting the city's biggest challenge. That is to bring businesses and residents back into the city centre. They've already moved out into the suburbs, but unless they move back, the city could be at risk of not fulfilling the blueprint, he says. He says the suburbs are cheaper for businesses. They also have more accessible parking. His biggest fear is that the businesses won't move back, and instead there'll be a donut-sized gap in the middle. Looking forward, he's suggesting multi-storey apartment buildings could be a development solution in the central city. He criticises the city for not providing enough temporary accommodation for workers. Instead, they're seeking the same housing stock as the rest of the city's residents, and this is putting pressure on the city's housing stock.
Further to the Christchurch City Council's suggested cost cutting, another potential idea may see the green waste bins collected fortnightly.
Green, yellow and red, the colours of the Christchurch bins. Yellow and red are collected fortnightly and the green waste bin collected weekly, but that may soon change. The Christchurch City Council is looking at areas where they can reduce costs. In the last 10 years, the collection and disposal of household rubbish has jumped from 4 to 10%. Mayor Leanne Dalzell wants to look at cost-effective ways to provide the service, suggesting the idea to pick up the curbside green bins less to cut costs. This idea was not popular with the councillors. Mayor Leanne Dalzell says they want to work with the local community to see what the most efficient collection would be that would have a financial impact across the city and also produce a better result. Councillors voted to go ahead with the trial and also get a full report on how efficiencies could be made to the curbside collection.
A 4-storey shopping and office complex announced today will be housed on the Triangle site in the corner of Colombo and Cashel Streets.
A world-class shopping, hospitality and office building announced today will be built on the Triangle Centre site in the heart of Christchurch's central city. The 4-storey complex will be built on land, currently the home of a car park found on the corner of Colombo and Cashel Streets. The corner is the former home of the old Triangle Shopping Centre, demolished after being badly damaged in the earthquakes. A key site in the rebuild of City Mall, 2 tenants have been confirmed for the development: ANZ Bank and consulting engineers Becker. The developer is CHC Properties, jointly owned by fashion retailer, property investor and rich lister Tim Glasson and fellow Hallenstein Glasson shareholder and chair Warren Bell. The architects who will develop and deliver the Sydney-made design are Peddle Thorpe, based in Auckland. Architect Brad Luke says it's a fantastic opportunity and Peddle Thorpe is excited to start on this key work in the rebuild. Brad Luke says, although the company have worked in the South Island before, it's their first time in Christchurch.
Oh, look, I think it's a gem right in the centre of the town. It will activate the retail precinct extremely well and provide a whole lot of population through the office floors above.
The ground floor is planned to be a retail and hospitality area, while the 3 floors above will be leased as office space. Leading bank ANZ also announced today the new complex will be the home of their Canterbury corporate office. Named the ANZ Centre, the bank planned to move in early 2017 and combine 200 of their corporate employees currently working in 4 sites across the city, all under one roof. ANZ's New Zealand Chief Executive David Hisco says ANZ are proud to put a stake into the Canterbury ground and commit to a substantial long-term presence in the CBD. The larger tenant, Becker, is one of the largest professional services company. Managing Director of Becker New Zealand, Don Lyons, says the company are delighted to be returning to the Christchurch CBD. Becker has 300 staff that will move into the complex, all of which are currently working in several sites across Canterbury. After 50 years of being a part of the Christchurch community, Don Lyons says Becker are very optimistic about the future and look forward to relocating to such an exciting new home. Construction work will begin in early August and expected to be completed at the end of 2016. Joelle Batista, CTV News.
Well, the designer of the Christchurch Central Blueprint is happy with how his work's turning into a reality. However, as Marcus Gibbs explains, he does have one regret.
How do you revitalise a city struck by a natural disaster? That was the question on everyone's lips during the design phase of the Christchurch Central Recovery Plan. Don Miskill was one of the designers behind the Central City Blueprint. His vision included plans for a major stadium, a performing arts precinct and a convention centre, but one thing was lacking in the blueprint.
I think it would have been really good to be able to attract a university into the Centre City. That would have been pretty exciting. In Melbourne, they've got RMIT with 40,000 students right in the central city, and that really adds to the vibrancy.
CPIT's main campus sits down Madras Street, but the size of the campus pales in comparison to the University of Canterbury. The region's largest tertiary education provider used to be based inside the CBD before it moved to Ilam in the 1960s.
So you could imagine if we could get 20,000 students, living, learning and being entertained in the central city, that would have been great.
Sir Bob Parker shared a similar vision when he was Christchurch's mayor. Less than 2 months after the February 2011 earthquake, he mooted the idea to establish an extraordinary precinct, bringing together the university, CPIT, as well as other educational institutions, right in the heart of the new-look CBD. Prime Minister John Key later debunked that idea, stating it would cost billions and billions of dollars to move the university. He called it a nice idea, but the concept of picking up the university and moving it into town and then abandoning its current buildings on its Ilam site would be far too expensive.
I understand that there's huge difficulties about costing and all that sort of thing, but that would have been a pretty amazing outcome.
However, an educational precinct hasn't been completely ruled out. In a recent CERA report, Health Precinct partners formalised their collaboration to develop a precinct which will incorporate health services alongside state-of-the-art research and teaching facilities.
And it's pretty exciting that CPIT now are looking to relocate their nursing training down on the health precinct adjacent to the hospital, and also cooperating with University of Otago, University of Canterbury and the private sector and the CDHB.
It's still early days, but this could be the closest Christchurch will come to seeing an educational precinct within the 4 Avs. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Well, coming up, a project to green the red zone takes place this weekend.
Drive It showcases the new arrivals to the motoring world, comparing and testing the latest models to discover which one is the best. Drive It, Sunday afternoons at 2:30, only on CTV.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company.
Oi!
Located at the foot of the Port Hills, Berrymead Golf offers a spectacular location for any occasion. Make a dream wedding a reality with private use of our green function room, outdoor garden courtyard, large marquee and stunning gazebo. Or for your next conference, enjoy the relaxed atmosphere of Berrymead Golf, offering a private, spacious conference room with special deals to make any break a true break. All with customised catering from the Wow Cafe. Berrymead Golf, 50 Berrymead Park Drive, right next to the Berrymead Heritage Park.
Welcome to Caltex Redwood. We're a family-owned business proudly supporting our local community. We're open 24/7 for fuel and shop goods, and we have an amazing team of people ready to help you. Save at least 6 cents per litre using AA Smart Fuel cards. We also offer great value on our LPG bottle fills. We have a full workshop and Bridgestone Tyre Centre. Our mechanics and tyre technicians will get your car sorted. Caltex Redwood. We're just down from St Bede's on Main North Road. Caltex Redwood. What drives you?
Have you seen something you like? You can purchase a copy of CTV's own shows so you can watch them again and again. So give us a call on 3777 033 and order a copy today.
Join us tonight at 6 for DW World News. Informative, lively, international news, breaking stories and global developments. DW News, weekdays at 6 p.m, right here on CTV.
Welcome back to CTV News. This weekend, a project to green the red zone is taking place.
Decades from now, these wetlands will be a healthy and harvestable environment. Celebrity guests are joining local community volunteers to take the first steps in greening the red zone.
We are planting out 400 native trees and bushes and also a small school, community garden and fruit tree grove.
It'll mark the start of restoration of the natural habitat, a project that's been co-led by Runanga o Ngāi Tahu and the Avon o Takado network.
We've been sort of nourishing the idea for the last 3 years, really, is the Avon o Takaro network has had a long-term vision to turn the residential red zone along the Avon corridor into a ecological reserve and multi-purpose river park, and this is really just the start of that, realising that dream, really.
Students at the bilingual Freeville School are pitching in, designing and building the raised beds for the community garden. The hopes is to restore the ecology of the area, a place well known as a whitebait spawning ground. And the group believe if they can design the red zone with whitebait and other key kai habitats and species in mind, the benefits will flow for the whole city and region. The event will take place on Saturday, giving locals a chance to dig in and help the community. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
And in other good news, Hanmer Springs Thermal Pools and Spa has won a Certificate of Excellence from the world's largest travel website known as TripAdvisor. General Manager of the Hanmer Springs Complex, Graham Abbott, is thrilled with the award. Over 170,000 overseas travellers visit the pool per year. The award is expected to bring the recognition that will attract more tourists to the pools. Christchurch Deputy Mayor Vicky Buck has spoken to CTV's Chris Lynch about a range of issues affecting the city.
The issue of increasing rates is a hot topic in Christchurch this week as the City Council votes to decide how much the rate should increase by. It was originally proposed that rates would increase by about 6.5% starting next week, but a new report suggests that figure could increase to 7.96%. Christchurch City Councillor and Deputy Mayor Vicky Buck has told CTV's Chris Lynch the cost of the city's earthquake repairs and flood damage are just too expensive, even at the current level of rates.
Obviously flooding has a huge impact on people's lives. It also has a huge impact on rates because the cost of those additional flood events is about $5 million, so that's about 1.5% of rates. And obviously stuff like the Crown Manager, the costs that are associated with that, which was kind of predates us. It's about
$2,000 a day.
Well, no, but just stuff like the insurance for those things, the total cost of that's about $9 million.
So what could be the answer to meet the council's new costs? Is either asset sales, cutting costs or another rate increase. Already annual operating costs have been slashed by about $11 million.
Rates is the primary means by which councils get money, but we have to be acutely aware of the kind of the fatigue and the exhaustion that is in the community and just how much people can tolerate.
She says some of the anchor projects like the stadium, which will cost the council at least $253 million, should be reconsidered and renegotiated with the government.
That's a huge sum. So can we afford that in the next 5 to 8 years? No. And it's as simple as that.
Vicky Buck is the most experienced councillor, having once sat in the mayor's seat for 3 terms. The last council was criticised for its divisions, but this time around the deputy mayor says everyone around the table gets on together.
So no A team, no B team, no divisions?
Oh, I mean, people have differing views on things, as you would expect in Christchurch. It wouldn't be Christchurch without that, which is fine, but they're not sort of nasty about it or anything like that. So it's a lovely team to work with.
Moving forward, the Deputy Mayor hopes the new Chief Executive will bring a lot to the job.
I think it's that can-do attitude rather than we're here to stop you doing things. It's kind of like, here's a community that is amazing, actually, if you look at the Christchurch community.
She says it's that great community that inspires her every day. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
And still to come on your CTV News, plans for the Avon River Precinct are well underway.
Take a multi-dimensional look at the unique facets of European culture, fashion, film, music, art, and everything in between. Euromax, every weekday at 8 a.m, right here on CTV.
Blackwells has a proud history presenting leading vehicle brands, extensive backup and service for a total one-stop driving experience. Holden, Mazda and HSV new and used vehicle sales, servicing, parts, paint and panel, Isuzu truck sales and service, all together in one convenient location. More selection, more value, more quality and more reasons to make Blackwells your #1 choice. Visit Blackwells today, corner Waterloo Racecourse Road Sockburn or online at blackwells.co.nz.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, the naturopath here at Staywell Pharmacy. Working with the pharmacist, I use herbal and nutritional medicine to recommend natural alternatives for your health. This can be to counteract any side effects of your medication, general health advice, or natural options for you and your family. I'm also available for consultations. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road, Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
Get rid of that damaging and unsightly moss, mould and lichen from your path, drive or roof with Mossbuster. Mossbuster is a no-bleach, non-abrasive, biodegradable solution that has over 35 years of proven results. Mossbuster costs less than half the price of other well-known products and can be yours for less than $1 a litre. You just spray it on and let Mother Nature do the rest. Check out our website to find the best solution to your moss, mould and grime problem. Order online or call us now on 0800 88 1000.
Spectacular rugby being played in the Press Cup 2014. Get your copy. DVDs available. Call right now, $29.95.
Europe in Concert. A new, fantastic international artist performing every week. Saturday evening at 7 p.m, right here on CTV.
Welcome back to your local news. Marcus Gibbs spoke to Don Miskell today about the exciting plans for the Avon City Precinct, which is well underway.
Christchurch's Avon River. This is the site of a $90 million restoration project, the largest of its kind in New Zealand. Once complete, the river precinct will span more than 3 kilometres through the heart of Christchurch City. The government hopes it will help draw people back to the city centre. The dream is for people to fill these boardwalks for a stroll beside a new, clean river.
So people can actually just gather, walk along the promenade, which will go for the whole 3.2 kilometres along, and so we think it's going to be a pretty great place to visit. In fact, the big test is, will it attract people?
Watermark was the first stage of the precinct to get off the ground. It's the showcase for what is to come.
It was a good learning experience. We did some in-river work, learned a few lessons and have applied those.
However, for the next few months, the river is calm and quiet. Work is stopped during trout spawning season. Under the new designs, as the river flows through the CBD, it changes and evolves to reflect its surroundings. It includes a boardwalk with walkways for pedestrians and cycleways for cyclists. It will even run underneath bridges. This is an Opus-led project, but the CCDU's design planning team, headed by Don, is in charge.
We review the designs and give design direction and make sure that the design team are delivering on the expectations of this community, really.
The terrace is Anthony Goff's $300 million project. Near the Bridge of Remembrance, the river and its boardwalk will complement his buildings. Nature lovers will be attracted to the precinct too. There will be about 20 years of work in just 4 years to get more than 1,700 new trees planted, as well as another 100,000 exotic and native shrubs.
They want to see exotics retained if they're healthy. They want us to see us planting new noble trees, both indigenous and exotic, which we will be doing.
Ecologists are working underneath the water to help bring life back to the river. Since the earthquakes, the river has become clogged with sand and silt. More than 400 tonnes of sediment was removed during the first stages of the river work. The river precinct will play a key part to the success of the new city. Work will wind up next year. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Very exciting stuff, and what it's going to look like is going to look magic. However, the roading problems are still with us. CTV's traffic update should assist you navigating the repairs and keeping the stress levels down.
Hello travellers, to help you plan your journey around the central city, here's a few tips. You'll notice Barbados Street is a little busier this week as work continues. This means there'll be one lane from Bailey Avenue to Salisbury Street. It's also down to one lane at the other end of Barbados Street, from Chilham to St Asaph Street. To avoid being stuck in a jam in the morning and evening drive home, we recommend you use Fitzgerald Avenue for southbound journeys. And remember, using the 4 avenues will get you around the city quicker. To keep up to date on what's happening with the central city roads, stay tuned and keep watching CTV News first at 5. And in the meantime, visit the Transport for Christchurch website.
And finally tonight, it's your regional weather forecast.
Kia ora everyone. Well, it was a warmer start around the region today. Let's see what those temperatures were. South Canterbury, Timaru a cool 16 degrees today. Temuka and Geraldine both on 16 degrees. Ashburton, you had 16 degrees today. Methven was on 16 degrees. Rakaia also on 16 degrees. Darfield had 16 degrees out there. Leeston and Rolleston had 17 degrees today. Lincoln also had a high of 17 degrees. Christchurch, a warmer day for you with 17 degrees as your high. Akaroa, also a nice warm day for you with 18 degrees. And out north of the Waimak, Kaipui, Rangiora and Amberley all on 17 degrees for Wednesday. Taking a look inland now, Culverden and Hanmer Springs, you were both on 15 degrees today and 15 degrees was the high in Cheviot. And up along the east coast, Kaikoura reached a high of 17 degrees. Timaru, fine for your Thursday with sunny periods and high cloud and moderate northwesterly winds. Tonight's low 7 degrees, tomorrow's high 14 degrees. Ashburton, a mild northwesterly day ahead with some high cloud at times. Tonight's low 7 degrees and tomorrow you can expect 14 degrees. And it's more spring-like weather than winter in Christchurch tomorrow. Fine and mild with sunny periods and high cloud. Tonight's low 7 degrees, tomorrow's high 16 degrees. Kaikoura, fine for your Thursday with sunny periods and high cloud and moderate northwesterly winds. Tonight's low 7 degrees, tomorrow's high 15 degrees. The rest of Canterbury can expect some cloud around tomorrow, but temperatures are still looking good. Temuka and Geraldine can expect a high of 14 degrees. Methven, you can expect 14 degrees, and 14 is expected in Rakaia. Darfield, you can expect 14 degrees tomorrow, and Leeston, 15 degrees for you. Rolleston and Lincoln, 15 degrees, and over in Akaroa, there's some cloud about for you too, with 15 degrees as your high. And out of North Canterbury, cloud around for Kaipui, Rangiora and Amberley, all on 15 degrees. Culverden, Hanmer Springs and Cheviot, same for you with those clouds about and a high of 15 degrees. Looking ahead for Canterbury, fine on Friday and Saturday with a mix of sunny periods and high cloud with mild temperatures, moderate to fresh northwesterly winds prevailing. Fresh gusty northwesterlies on Sunday with high cloud increasing during the day. Brief rain on Sunday evening or night with a period of strong winds. High cloud breaking and sunny periods increasing on Monday with fresh northwesterly winds decreasing and becoming cooler. High cloud increasing again on Tuesday with moderate mild northerlies. Some rain developing Tuesday night, possibly heavy with strong cold southerlies. And that's your weather update for Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
And in fact, that's your CTV News for tonight. I'm Rob Cope-Williams.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.